Edinburgh was rocked. In the middle of a peaceful night, Outlander star, Sam Heughan suddenly became the main character in a real nightmare. The sound of broken glass and strange footsteps echoed in his house, and in just a split second the famous actor's life was on the line between life and death. The latest revelations from Sam himself not only made fans breathe a sigh of relief that he was safe, but also shudder when they learned the truth. The intruder was so close that he could hear his breathing right in his own house. It had been only days since shocking headlines revealed that Sam Heughan, the beloved Outlander star, had endured a terrifying midnight burglary at his Edinburgh home. Fans across the world were still struggling to process the thought of their hero jolting awake to the sound of shattering glass and stealthy footsteps in the dark. The flashing police sirens, the frantic reports, and the image of Sam confessing that he felt deeply unsettled painted a picture of a nightmare no one expected him to face. But just as the public began to catch their breath, Sam himself revealed a chilling new detail, one that both relieved his supporters and unsettled them even further. In his own words, he admitted, "I was lucky to lose money and not my safety. Things can be replaced. People cannot." For the first time since the break-in, Sam shared openly what had been taken. The intruder had forced his way through a smashed window, snatched a small amount of cash and a few valuables, and fled when the police sirens drew near. "Yes, I lost money," Sam said candidly. "But what haunted me was not what was taken, it was what could have happened. That's the thought that still wakes me at night." His voice reportedly trembled as he recalled standing silently at the top of the stairs, frozen, while the burglar moved through his living room below. "He was so close," Sam admitted. "One wrong step, one noise too loud, and I could have been face to face with someone desperate enough to break into a home at midnight. I don't know what would have happened then. That terrifies me more than anything." The revelation sent a new wave of emotion through the fandom. On one hand, supporters were relieved he had escaped unharmed. On the other, his words made the danger feel painfully real. Hashtags like #FireYourLuckySam and a Protect Sam Heughan exploded across social media. One fan wrote on Twitter, "I cried reading his words. Money means nothing. We could have lost him. Thank God he's safe." Another added, "I'm so relieved, but imagining him standing there knowing someone was in his house, it breaks my heart." On Instagram, fan-made graphics spread like wildfire, featuring Sam's quote, "Lucky to lose money, not my safety," set against images of him smiling at premieres or posing with admirers. For many, his words became a mantra, resilience and gratitude forged in the shadow of fear. For years, Sam Heughan had been larger than life, the fearless Jamie Fraser Scotland's charismatic ambassador, the seemingly invincible public figure. Yet in this moment, his candor stripped that away. He was no Highland warrior, but a man admitting he had been afraid, saved not by bravery, but by sheer luck. "Fame doesn't make you bulletproof," Sam confessed. "I've learned that the hard way. But what it does give you is a community of people who care. And for that, I'm grateful." His humility struck a deep chord. Fans who had long admired him as an actor and an icon now saw him more profoundly as a human being, someone who had stood in the dark, vulnerable, and survived. Still, his honesty carried weight. He admitted he continues to feel uneasy in his own home. "There are moments when I hear a noise in the night, and my heart races. You don't forget the sound of someone else's footsteps in your house. It lingers." The police investigation pressed on, though no arrests had yet been made. Authorities believed the break-in was opportunistic, but also acknowledged that Sam's fame may have made him a target. For Sam, the unanswered questions remained as haunting as the night itself. And then came the most chilling revelation of all. "He was near enough that I could hear him breathing," Sam revealed quietly. "That's when I realized I was lucky. Lucky to lose money. Lucky not to lose more." The fandom was stunned. What began as a story of stolen cash had transformed into something far darker, a stark reminder of how thin the line between safety and disaster can be. By the next morning, Edinburgh police issued a formal update confirming the burglary was still under active investigation. Detectives combed through CCTV footage and canvassed neighbors for witnesses. Though the suspect had escaped with only a small amount of cash and personal items, Detective Inspector Fraser emphasized the seriousness of the case. Mr. Heughan reacted courageously and wisely, Fraser said. In high-stress situations like this, panic can escalate danger. He did exactly the right thing. Contacted authorities, immediately avoided confrontation, and waited for officers. That decision likely prevented harm. Even so, the detective admitted the implications were troubling. It's difficult to say whether this was opportunistic or deliberate. Mr. Heughan's profile as a public figure cannot be ignored. We are pursuing every line of inquiry. Sam's second public statement after the ordeal was sobering, even philosophical. He reflected not only on the burglary itself, but on the life he leads under fame's unforgiving glare. When you work in the public eye, there's always a trade-off. The love and support of fans is extraordinary, but it comes with exposure. People know your face, your voice, your routines. That visibility can sometimes invite risks. I never imagined it would come in the form of a stranger in my home at midnight. Yet amid the darkness, his gratitude shone through. I'm thankful the only things lost were material. Money can be earned again. Objects can be replaced. What matters is health, life, and the people who stand beside you. This candid admission reminded the world that behind the strong facade of Jamie Fraser stood Sam Heughan, a man grappling with the same fears and fragility as anyone else. Fans responded with overwhelming love. Communities launched the Shaka Lucky Sam movement, flooding social media with messages of solidarity. Thousands posted selfies holding signs like "Stay Safe Sam" and "We Stand With You." Others created a digital quilt, an online mosaic of fan art, poems, and heartfelt notes dedicated to him. One supporter wrote, "Sam taught us courage through his roles. Now he's teaching us resilience through his honesty." Another said, "Yes, he lost money, but he reminded us that life is priceless. That's the Sam we admire." On TikTok, viral montages paired Sam's most iconic Outlander moments with his quote, "Lucky to lose money, not my safety." The phrase became a rallying cry for resilience, perspective, and gratitude. Media outlets across the UK and US picked up his words. Headlines blared "Sam Heughan lucky to lose money, not life." Entertainment journalists praised his rare candor, with one columnist noting, "Heughan has turned personal trauma into a teachable moment." Wealth can't shield anyone from fear, but gratitude can transform recovery. Industry colleagues chimed in as well. Katrina Balfe reportedly reached out privately, while Graham McTavish publicly posted Sam's right. "Money is nothing compared to life. Proud of my friend for speaking with courage." For Sam, the incident marked a turning point. He admitted he was rethinking his approach to privacy and security. "I've always loved engaging with fans, sharing parts of my life, but I now realize there are boundaries I must protect. This experience has changed how I see my vulnerability. And strangely, it has made me stronger." He urged his supporters to take away a broader lesson. We all measure wealth differently, but at the end of the day, the greatest fortune is waking up safe and alive. That's something I'll never take for granted again. Still, even with gratitude, scars remain. I still wake up sometimes listening for footsteps that aren't there. But instead of focusing on fear, I try to focus on the lesson. That night reminded me of what really matters. His honesty only deepened the world's affection for him. He was not just Jamie Fraser, the Highland warrior who never faltered. He was Sam Heughan, a man who had stood in fear, chosen gratitude, and shared his humanity with millions. As the investigation continued and fans awaited updates, one truth rose above the rest. Sam had survived not only a burglary, but a test of spirit. He may have lost money, but he had gained something infinitely more valuable, the reminder that life itself is the ultimate treasure.